The Gunner government is holding its breath, hoping that community transmission of COVID-19 in the Territory can be prevented. The Territory's latest case has again come in from the outside. The government is trying to reassure the public it's increasing the capacity to test people at risk and stay ahead of the spread.
Inbound travel has again been the source of the Territory's 6th case of COVID-19, leaving health authorities scrambling to follow up the people who travelled in with him on a flight from Sydney to Darwin on Friday.
This is a 75-year-old male who recently returned from overseas.
The government says there's still no person-to-person spread happening within the Territory. But concerns are being raised that without more availability of testing, it won't keep on top of that.
We see nations such as South Korea that flattening the curve comes from community testing rather than existing protocols being used in the NT.
We have been doing significant numbers of tests. I don't have the specifics, but they're in the hundreds.
What is our capacity to ramp it up into the thousands to move to community testing?
We're certainly trying to put as many testing resources in the Territory as possible.
The government rushed laws through Parliament, giving health staff and the police the power to enforce and monitor movement restrictions for 3 months at a time.
This is to give the Chief Health Officer the ability to isolate people that aren't complying.
With rare cross-Parliament support, including from the new opposition.
That is also sending a signal to the community that we are actually working together in a time of crisis.
Because there won't be a budget in May, the government's passing a law to ensure its money still flows. But it hasn't been decisive on whether to go ahead with the election in August or close schools.
There are multiple options that are on the table currently.
The government is trying to reassure the community that it has the ability to be agile, including changing the part of its business stimulus package that was meant to help venues put in partitions to ensure social distancing, now that they have to close altogether.
The digital bit is still important. We've rolled that into the $50 million small business survival package.
Despite some cattle stations and remote communities already facing food shortages, the government says there isn't a problem with supply.
If everyone did their ordinary shopping, maybe threw in a little bit of extra cans or lifelong milk, if everyone just did that, we would have oversupply of food.
It's reiterated calls to stop panic buying.
Please, as the Prime Minister said, stop it.
All sides are trying to remain positive.
If we can hold this, if we can manage this, we might be able to get through it with a minimal damage.
Echoing the hopes of many. Jane Bardon, ABC News.